All right, so we now have gameplay footage. I guess first from TVGS, but now more recently from Comic Con. Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection. So let's kind of check this out. Now, I personally, since I've reacted to Monster Hunter Stories 3, I was excited enough that I started playing the Monster Hunter Stories series. I've only played one so far. I'm about like 30 hours in. I'm pretty deep into it. It's pretty good, but you could tell it was like it's a much older game, made very much for like kids initially, I think, and then it seems like in 2, I heard they really evolved it a lot. But foundationally, it's pretty solid. It's pretty fun. Kind of a cute game. Kind of a story didn't really matter at all in the first one. It sounded like it got better in the second one, so I'm looking forward to the second one. Anyways, that's I have some baseline context for what we're looking at here now, but I suspect it's going to look way better. Yeah, it already looks way better. So that's a nest over here, I'm guessing. This is what the nest looks like now.
Melee attack from the overworld.
Two is much better.
Do that before, right?
Yeah, so you actually got the material there. Melee attack from the overworld there.
Oh yeah. Oh, you just killed him from the overworld. Yeah. You can't do that at all in the first one. Probably not the second one either.
And you couldn't do that before, right?
Oh, you've got a hot bar. Okay, you've got a hot bar for the monsters.
Yeah, so you actually got the
Wait, you have a hot
there.
bar and you switch out? I don't know if that's from 2. Sorry if that's from 2.
So
That's
you actually
kind of funny.
got the materials from that monster, from the attack, because you were strong enough to defeat it outright.
Dude, that's from Metaphor. I mean, it's probably from other games too, but I know it from Metaphor. That's cool.
Malo looks so good.
He's going for it at a decent clip there. You actually saw that we switched from Plesioth to Magnamalo. You can hold up to 6 monsters in your inventory at any time and switch between them as you're exploring.
Yeah, in this case, the game doesn't look a little blurry. It's just the recording quality, I think, unfortunately. But.
This area is so cool. There's so much verticality, and it's a lot bigger and
oh my god,
more
this is
expansive.
way better. Oh my god, bro.
Previous games are super
Yeah,
cool.
you can see this is a huge area. That little river area we started out is called the Cataracts, and now we're moving to Mount Canalta, which is this mountainous region. The monsters we see are going to be different from what we saw in that.
Dude, the
first
seamless
starting region.
switching is great.
The animations here are really, really great too. So much agility.
Make sure to exercise your Magnamalo when you take them out. They love to jump.
Wow.
There's a treasure chest there, but it looks like somebody got stuff already.
Whoever's playing is a Luke Goblin.
Yeah, so like I don't know if they changed it since the first one, but these caves that he's going by, that's actually how you get a monster. I don't know if they're still calling them monsties. These look like full-blown monsters. Oh, well, don't spoil me. I haven't played. I don't know if they turn into monsters later or something, but like I've only got monsties. Like this is like a nest. You go in there and you will find like a monster sleeping on top of a nest or guarding or awake and guarding a nest of eggs. And you can pick up an egg and like try and get out of there without getting caught. And if you get caught, you got to take them out. And you'll see it, but it's all turn-based, kind of like Pokemon style, rock, paper, scissors combat. You know, you've got elemental damage, type matchups, and you've got power, speed, and technical kind of rock, paper, scissors type matchups. So
Whoever's playing is a Luke Goblin.
whoa, Devil Joe!
Angry Pickle alert.
That's my favorite monster.
We don't want any smoke, so we're just going to get out of there.
Yeah.
Dude, look how big you can see a nest that far away in the distance. I'm kind of getting.
So you can even change in air. Don't worry, the Magnamalo is fine. He landed on his feet.
Dude, he did the Yoshi drop. He dropped like in Mario when you do the jump with Yoshi and you let him fall to his death. Except he landed on a Ray Dow. This game's already awesome.
We're flying through, taking a great look at Mount Canalta behind us as we go back down towards the Cataracts. You can switch monsters at any
Ray Dow
time,
does
even
look great.
in midair. Now we're back to Ratha here. Faithful
I kinda like
Rathalos.
this.
And we see some Acnosom in the distance.
Look at that draw distance.
Yeah, the draw distance is awesome. Oh God, stop.
I know, right? So we're going to see if we can interrupt their graceful flight through the air
snipe
with a
them.
breath attack.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just minding its own business, and we knocked it out of the sky.
Oh, they just give you the tier.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
they
if
just
you
give you
wanted
the
to battle
mat.
for it, it's actually really beneficial
Yeah.
if we start with our own attack. Got caught by our canine friend there. So you can actually see a little
this is
better that
cool.
on the canine that Rudy is along with us. I hope he doesn't
Wait, is this a monster? Or just, wait, do we just get a Palamule? Wait.
get motion sick. See a little our own attack. Wanted to battle
Is
for
this a
it, it's actually
Palamule?
really beneficial
Yeah.
if we
Palamute?
start with our
What's it
own
called
attack.
again? From
Got caught
Rise,
by our
the
canine
dog?
friend there.
It
So you
runs
can
like the
actually see a little
dog
better
from
that,
Rise.
on the canine that Rudy is along with us.
Oh
he
my
doesn't get motion
god,
sick.
It's cool to see
they
Palamutes
gave us the Palamute back? Oh
back
my
for,
god, that's crazy.
players
I
of
don't know if
Monster
was that
Hunter
in 2?
Rise.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was in 2.
Much loved. So up ahead we have a Tetranodon, and it's got some weird crystals growing on top of it.
A lot of Rise monsters.
This is actually
here.
called a feral monster, and feral monsters are really tough. So we have
That's
a
cool.
hard fight ahead of us.
Feral
So
monsters.
Cowboy, you're actually really familiar with the Monster Hunter Stories series, right? Do you want to explain how the combat works really quickly?
Yeah, so we have, in a sense, it's almost like a rock, paper, scissors type system going on in stories. You have power attacks, technique attacks, and then speed attacks.
Yeah.
And attacks typically kind of align with a monster and what you'd expect. So something that, like an Anjanath, which is more of a brute, it's going to be more of power attacks typically. And in general, the idea is when you're going up against a monster, you want to try and predict what they're going to do until you learn those various movesets. On top of that, monsters will also mix things up mid-fight, so a monster may start with brute attacks, and you'll actually see that in a little bit with the Tetranodon here, but it'll change up its form and go for something else. So it keeps
Yeah, I will say just from like what I played in the first one, even in the first one, they did a pretty good job like with you being able to guess based on the vibe of the monster you're fighting, what he's probably going to lead with. And then even if you guess wrong and he gets you a few times, there's a pretty clear established pattern. It's not till the mid or later game when they start mixing it up, it gets kind of tricky. You got to like kind of think and pay attention, and starts to get like, I will say I don't know how well you can memorize the pattern once they start mixing it up, like mixing up multiple attacks or whatever. I'm not able to really follow it when they start doing that. But what was I going to say? Oh, I think they do a much better job with that, rock, paper, scissors matchup that they made specifically for this game than they do with the type matchups, which are still like really hard to predict for monsters. They're just not, and that's the same. We have the same issue in the mainline games. Is it's like you just wouldn't guess some of these things, like I'm trying to think of one. Like the number of monsters that are just randomly weak to dragon or something like that. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Or like something that looks like it would be, if you're coming from Pokemon, you're like, this thing looks like it would burn if you lit it on fire. It would go up in flames. It's clearly weak to fire. And then it's like, no, it's weak to water actually. And it's like, I don't understand how that works, So like the more intuitive like rock paper scissors, or the rock paper scissors system that they made specifically for these games makes way more sense. Elemental stuff, it's not that bad, but there's times where it's like you just kind of have to memorize some of it. It's like, especially if you're coming from Pokemon where you're like, oh, it's a ground monster, so that means it's going to be weak to ice and water, and it's like, nope, just ice or something. Not water. I don't know. So
keeps you on your toes, but as long as you are matching the appropriate attack style, you end up getting advantages in battle. So you get to take additional actions, your meters build up faster, you get up.
Yeah, that is cool. It's like when you counter the right, like power's weak to speed, speed's weak to technical's weak to power. If you counter the attack, if you have if you choose, if the opponent monster chooses speed and you choose technical, and you both target each other, it starts this head-to-head thing that you'll see in the gameplay, and you'll win that, and that means that monster's attack won't do damage, and you'll do damage, and it like powers up your in the other game. It powers up your kinship stone that like leads to super moves.
But
and stuff.
as long as you are matching the
Saves your
appropriate
ass.
attack style, you end up getting advantages in battle. So you get to take additional actions, your meters build up faster. You get up to your ultimate, which is like your kinship gauge. It's this gauge you build from riding your monsters, and then you get to execute like super cool, flashy attacks. So there's a fair amount of depth going on here, and then on top of that, you'll also notice our hunters are using weapons. And even though you don't control the weapon directly the way you would in the main Monster Hunter franchise, different weapons also have different advantages, such as bow having pierce or hammers having blunt, things along those lines.
Yeah, well put. So this is actually a feral monster, which is much tougher than the usual monsters we'll see. Or actually,
Things along
Let me hear
weapons
that last
also
part again.
control the weapon directly the way you would in the main Monster Hunter franchise. Different weapons also have different advantages, such as bow having pierce or hammers having blunt, things along those lines.
yeah, well put. So this is actually a feral monster.
Yeah, I don't know if they had that in the first one that I'm playing, but I know in the first one they did make an effort for them to kind of match like the weapon stats and like how they work to kind of match how the weapon is in the main game. So like greatsword would do the most damage, but maybe just has like the least impressive set of like special skills to use. Whereas like hammer does a little less damage, but it kind of has some dope special moves, I think. And sword and shield too. And sword and shield has like elevated crit, I think. So, but it wasn't like super clear. The one that stood out in stories is the hunting horn, because the hunting horn's all its abilities, they're activated by using like the notes sheet, like how you do in Monster Hunter, like the mainline Monster Hunter games, but instead of, since it's not like an action game, instead of it being different moves, one after the other, it's like different combinations of power attack, speed attack, and technical attack, and they're like certain songs are played, and then they're those abilities are automatically applied without, I think without like costing any like kinship or anything like that. So it takes longer because like each one takes 2 or 3 turns to activate, but then the effects are applied for free, I think. But the one that I have is not very impressive, so I haven't gone with it. But I'm holding out hope, because ideally you would have I could find a hunting horn that just turns my guy into a healer, and then I can just swap out my monsties nonstop and just like let my monsties be the DPS.
Which is much tougher than the usual monsters we'll see or encounter. And you can see it just did a feral attack, which did a bunch of damage to the party.
Let's see that again. That's new.
Those lines.
Yeah, well put. So this is actually a feral monster, which is much tougher than the usual monsters we'll see or encounter. And you can see it just did a feral attack, which did a bunch of damage to the party and put blast blight on a couple of members. So the crystal on top of its head is actually called Blightstone. And when we attacked it normally, we got hit with damage reflected back at us. But now it's altered its form. So not only will its attack type change, but it might be the time to attack that blast blight crystal and not get hit with backlash damage. That's going to be me after the show, as I gouge myself on pizza.
Para que sonrías con
Big
más
boy.
confianza.
Oh,
Oral-B
God.
Freddy White con micropartículas blanqueadoras y refrescantes que eliminan.
Sorry.
So we're switching weapons here, right?
Yeah, so they're also attack type damages. So with the longsword, we had slash. And now we're going to change to the longbow for pierce damage, because it does more to the Tetranodon's head. And we really want to break that crystal. There you see, we just won that head-on-head because we correctly predicted which attack type to use.
Ready
We
to have
didn't
a
take any
bow in
damage,
this
and
game?
the Tetranodon took extra damage. Although we still had the blast blight effect on us, and that ended us taking one of our hearts. Now our kinship gauge was full, so
The heart system, if you don't know, is like if your health goes to 0, you have 3 hearts, and you'll just like restore your health, and you'll lose a heart. And when you lose all 3 hearts, then the battle's over. And that applies for you or your monster at any given moment. It's kind of interesting.
we actually hopped on our canine companion
system.
friend here. We're going to do our special kinship move.
Oh,
These are always so
look
cool.
at that.
There's so many unique kinship attacks with really awesome animations. Usually ends in some sort of crazy explosion.
Whoa.
There's that crazy explosion.
I don't remember that.
Okay, that is way better than what they have in in the first one. The first one was a DS game, and it's just kind of goofy. It's goofy shit. I honestly have the battles on 3 times speed just to like zoom through them and grind through them and stuff like that for the most part. But there's a couple. I guess there's a couple attacks that look kind of cool, but it's Monster Hunter. The first Monster Hunter story is very old, even the remastered or whatever version. So
Move
this
and
is cool to
rise.
see.
Where does my
I'm curious to see how much better this is than 2.
It's still got plenty of health, though, but it did do a lot of damage to its Wyvern Soul gauge, and you saw that since we depleted it, it staggered, and now it loses its turn.
Okay.
And we're switching monsters. Now we're switching monsters, which you can do at any time during a battle. Since our kinship gauge was empty, it's a perfect time to switch to a new monster, start building up
you
those
can heal
attacks.
your hearts,
Dao
too.
is going to use his elemental advantage against Tetranodon.
I think players of Monster Hunter Wilds know that attack that we just saw from right now, maybe on the opposite end of it, unfortunately.
Many
Oh,
players
wait,
card
he
know
has
that
a
advantage
railgun attack?
against the
Let's do
monster,
that.
start building up those attacks. Ray Dao is going to use his elemental advantage
Boom.
against Tetranodon.
I think players of Monster Hunter Wilds know that attack that we just saw from right now, maybe on the opposite end of it, unfortunately.
Many players carded to that attack, me being one of them.
I think a big thing is just looking at how the UI has evolved between the franchises. Like, for those that have played the first and second game, you'll probably notice that there's a lot more going on. You have
Nope,
more
don't know
flexibility
it.
than ever
Yeah,
before
Waddle's
in terms
dodged every single
of
one.
seeing the damage types and even seeing that wheel of, strength beat technique, technique beat speed, speed beat strength. It's all very integrated and just upfront, keeping the player informed as they
I'm
go
glad
through the
this
battles
game
now.
looks so
Absolutely.
nice now,
I think it flows really well,
visually.
too. It's
That's
a lot easy
big
to,
deal
once
for
you
a
learn the
turn-based
systems,
game.
it's easy to pick up. So you actually saw that we broke the Blightstone
I think
affected
visuals-
part of its head. So now that
I think visuals actually matter a lot for turn-based RPGs. Like the visuals, the art style, that kind of thing.
feral
It's a big
attack
deal.
is going to be much, much weaker. Oof. It is still a feral monster, though, and it's really tough. And you see it knocked a bunch of our party members down.
Well, we saw the type advantage there too, because Anjanath is a fire line monster, and we saw that water attack. You could see it had that weak effect there. So
Exactly.
on top of the advantages of like playing to the strength of the monster, you obviously want to tie up the right elements if you have access to them as
Do
well.
the two
100%.
different hunters each have their own different heart meters? Oh, they do, don't they? Look at that. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Here you see Angie is hopping on her Anjanath. I think we're going to choose an item to buff her up a little bit. Oh, and we're actually switching to our hunting horn. Power up ourselves and our friends.
Maybe they did away with how the hunting horn worked.
And
in
we
the
staggered it
first
once
one.
more, so that means it's toppled, and we can do a synchro rush. So this is a mechanic
Whoa.
where we can do a lot of extra damage to a toppled monster. And it's really good that we
Okay.
buffed ourselves right before this, meaning it'll power up so much more.
Oh
Very
my
satisfying.
god.
Look at those numbers.
Feels good.
Big number.
And now we're going to
The
hop on
lady's
right
an
now.
NPC party member. She has a unique monster. Oh.
Almost there.
Giving Eleanor an extra heart, making sure she doesn't tank the battle. There was a feral attack, and you saw it was much weaker. A lot easier to deal with.
But it's cool, right, that there's some challenge in this fight. There's a lot of strategy and depth. It's not like this monster is just, one hit and then it's out and it's just a filler battle. Like, there is a lot that you have to focus on here.
Absolutely. Here's Eleanor's kinship skill with Angie.
Ooh. Nice. That's cool.
Good amount of damage and another stagger, meaning it loses its turn. Now we're going to use our kinship skill with Ray Down.
Oh, let's see
This one's
this.
actually really cool.
Raid out kinship skill. Let's go.
This is so over the top, but I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That really good attack. Been carded to it so many times. And because Tetranodon is weak to
beautiful.
thunder, that's enough to knock it down. And the frail monster's been defeated.
1,000, by the way. Oh my gosh, that was
at S
awesome.
rank.
I need a raid out in my party stat.
And that'll wrap
dude.
up the gameplay section.
Oh my gosh. Oh, hold on. Hold for ad. Hold for ad in a different language. Okay. Hold for humble bundle, I guess. Is that what this is? Oh, that was it. Oh, we're done. Okay. They just wanted to hit me with ads at the end. Yeah, that looks way better.
We really want to break.
That looks way better. I think this is going to be a very competent turn-based RPG. We'll be curious to see if we consider it like like a Pokemon killer, like a turn-based RPG kind of killer. We'll just have to see. I mean, it looks good. I'm still only on one. One is a bit rough. I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's a bit rough though. I'm not gonna lie. But it's got potential. I'm really curious to see how much of an improvement 2 is, because everybody in chat told me 2 is really good. So, this looks great. Like, this looks like smart. It looks like they made a lot of smart decisions. So, I think this game comes out. When does this game come out? Let's see. Storage 3, 2026, but when? March 13th, 2026. So I got time to get through them, but I went ahead and started on them. So the conversation's just kind of been around finding a Pokemon alternative lately. So, I at least wanted to give this one a shot. And if nothing else, 3 seems like it's going to be pretty cool. I hope people take advantage of the multiplayer features. I don't know if people do that when they put these games out, but apparently you can do battles and stuff like that. So, don't worry, Jeff. You won't think Stories is too rough when we force you to play Monhun 1. Oh no! Please don't give me $10,000 for me to stream Monster Hunter 1. Don't force me. Don't force me and pay me 5 figures to play that old ass game. Don't do that. No. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for this. Really excited for this to come out. So, cool.